Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is a Sunday, and as per usual, I'm waiting until the absolute last minute to film. Big shock. But today I have a super exciting video for you guys, but before we get into that, if you are new, hello, my name is Kelsey. I talk about makeup and beauty all the time on here, and every once in a while I'll throw in a fun college vlog. I'm actually thinking about vlogging this week and vlogging some of my workouts, and I figured that would be kind of fun for you guys to see. But I do throw those in every once in a while, but my main focus is beauty and makeup. I've been into makeup since I was a little girl, and yeah, I just love playing around and getting creative. So today we have another review, and I mean, it's no surprise. It's not going to come as any surprise as to how I feel about this palette, because if you've been with my channel for a while, you know how I feel about ColourPop shadows. But today we are going to be reviewing the ColourPop Disney Mandalorian collaboration. This is the Child palette. Okay, so background, for those of you who don't know, my birthday is actually May 4th, also known as National Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. So that is when I was born, so I was just kind of born into a natural love for Star Wars. My parents showed it to me very, very young. I've seen all of them. I haven't watched the Clone Wars yet, but I know that I need to. I'm sorry, don't hate me if you are obsessed with it. I know, I'm working on it, okay? We're getting there. But I have been watching The Mandalorian since it released. I, of course, am caught up on the episodes. And the Child, also known as Baby Yoda, just melts my heart every single time. And so when I saw that they were coming out with this palette, you bet your butt that I had to get my hands on it, because just look at it. It's so cute. The packaging on this is just, it's so good. I would have bought it for the packaging alone. Like, even if it wasn't ColourPop, I still probably would have bought this, because I love Mandalorian and I love Baby Yoda. And then the fact that it was ColourPop and I knew the formula was going to be really good, I was like, oh, thank goodness. So this is what the unicarton looks like. It is pretty much the same as the palette. So it has the shade names on the back, it has Baby Yoda on the front, but I of course have taken mine out of the unicarton, and so this is what you're looking at. You have a little Baby Yoda, and then you have the shade names, and I love the shade names. We have the shade Precious Cargo, we have Right Hand Mando, we have Just Like a Tatooine, we have Sipping Soup, which I adore, we have Babyface, we have The Force, we have Little Frog, we have Float Your Crib, and we have Droid Protocol. So this is what the palette looks like on the inside. Oh! It's so cute. First of all, it does have a mirror on top, which is awesome. Then of course we have Cutest in the Galaxy, because obviously. And another little Baby Yoda here. And then these are the shades. So this is definitely a warmer green toned palette, which if you guys know me, you guys know that I have color changing eyes, and they kind of shift back and forth between green and blue. So greens, of course, bring out the green in my eyes. So I love to wear greens. Greens and purples are my favorite colors to wear, just because they bring out the green in my eyes, which I think is really fun. So I was obsessed with this palette as soon as I saw the shade range. I was like, this is amazing, and I have to get my hands on it. So the shade Precious Cargo up here is actually a pressed Super Shock shadow. This is not the first time that they have put that into a palette. I really love when they put those into palettes, actually, because Super Shock shadows are what I started out with ColourPop, and so it's nice being able to have them in a smaller form, because I feel like I don't use up the big ones that they sell. So the smaller size works a lot better. The shade that came in the So Jaded palette, I think it's called Diamond. Love that shade, so good. But then we have three more metallics here, with the Force, with Right Hand Mando, and Sipping Soup. Although the Force kind of reminds me of a Super Shock shadow, but not completely, so I'm gonna categorize that as a metallic like the other two. And then we have 4 mattes here with Just Like a Tatooine, Babyface, Float Your Crib, and Droid Protocol down here. And then this one here in the corner, which is Little Frog, it is a matte with like the glitter overspray in it, so it's like the glitter matte a little bit. But it's, when you apply the color, there's not a whole lot of glitter in it, so if you're looking for another matte, you could really use that as another matte. I don't notice the glitter anymore. So this is what we have, and we also have a little frog here down at the bottom. For those of you that haven't watched the show, Baby Yoda likes to eat frogs, so that's where all the frog things are coming from. If you haven't seen this week's episode, it gets Mandalorian and Baby Yoda into some trouble. Tisk tisk tisk, Baby Yoda. So here I have some swatches on my hand. I will insert a video of like what the swatches look like up close. These do not have a primer on underneath. They're just finger swatches. But they are so beautiful. All of the colors are very pigmented. Some of them of course show up on my skin tone more than others, because like this one up here, which I think is just like a Tatooine, it's like the lightest shade in the palette. Brown wise, that one is the closest one to my skin tone, so I kind of have to build that one up a little bit, but that's to be expected. But the rest of them are so beautiful. This color in the middle, which is Baby Face, which is like that like pastel green a little bit, is so interesting, and I don't feel like I have another shade like that in all of my palettes. So that's really, really fun. And so I do have this palette as well as a little bit of Bare Necessities on my eyes today. So the green that is on my eyes is of course my favorite color in the palette, which is Sipping Soup. I just think that that color is so beautiful. It's like, it's a metallic, like soft olive green, and it's beautiful. It is one of my favorite shades of green of all time, and I love that it's a metallic formula. So if you really like the 9 pans, I think this is a like amazing 9-pan palette to have. They're restocking it, I believe, right after Thanksgiving, or like the week of Thanksgiving. I don't think this is a limited time collaboration, but I'm not 100% sure, and I believe this guy was, I think it was $18, so it's a little more expensive for their 9-pan palettes. Their 9 pans are normally 12 to 14. But of course this is a Disney and ColourPop collaboration, so you know it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, obviously. But I think it's still worth the $18, and ColourPop normally, at least for me, I do not pay any extra for shipping. So it normally takes for me about a week to a week and a half to get here. But it can get here faster, of course, if you pay for the expedited shipping. I mean, no spoiler alert, like you kind of knew going into this video I was gonna love it, and this is mostly just gonna kind of be like an introduction to it, because most ColourPop products that I review, it's very hard for me to find things wrong with ColourPop, and like I love everything about ColourPop. I love their price range, I love their formulas, I just think they're really, really good. So there are a few like dud shadows every once in a while, and that happens, and I point those out, but I don't personally think that any of these in this palette are duds. I think they are all amazing. The one that I do have the biggest problem working with is Baby Face, just because like it's slightly more pastel tone, is a little harder to work with, like with some of the other shadows in the palette. It doesn't quite fit, like not 100%. It still fits, but like it's teetering on the edge. But that is really the only one that I have. I will say the color, the Force, if you don't apply it with your finger, if you try to apply it with a brush, it's actually gonna come off more as like a glitter topper. So if you really want the pure pigmentation of the gold, I definitely recommend using your hand or using a damp brush to apply that. But yeah, I love this palette. I think the artwork is amazing, and it is definitely the cutest in the galaxy and the cutest in my collection. So if you didn't get this first time around and you are like me and you like The Mandalorian, you like Star Wars, you think Baby Yoda is the cutest in the galaxy, I highly recommend this palette and getting it when it restocks. And yeah, that is everything that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed, and if you want to see any looks with this palette or any of my other palettes that I've mentioned recently that I've acquired, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everybody!